Green light, they're away.
And they're all in their positions, ready to go. There's the light up.
In true Mildura style.
The green light's on. It was a beautiful start.
He's trying to get across.
Great to have your company here on Burning Questions, September 25. We're going to look at the racing at Melton on Saturday night. Of course, it's grand final day here in Victoria, the AFL grand final. So I don't know if at least two of our three guests, Andy Gath and Chris Alford, are overly thrilled about having to head to the trots and missing probably the last quarter of the grand final, but we'll find out. Puppet, I know you love your footy. You'd probably rather be having a quiet beer on Saturday afternoon, wouldn't you, watching either the Lions or the Cats get home?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we have to race because they did have Mildura for a while on grand final day, which is good. But yeah, my favourite part's watching the anthem and that at the start. So my team's not in it, so missing the last quarter won't really matter that much.
Yeah, nor is mine. A Blues man and I'm a Bombers man. No, Puppet, let's get the tips out early. Who wins the grand final on Saturday?
I'll go Cats by 3 points.
Okay, Cats by 3 points. Andy Gath joins us. He's a former student when it comes to the harness racing, but also the football. He watches it closely. Andy, sadly, your Hawthorn all-in bet's gone under. So who would you be investing in on Saturday to take out the big one?
I'm not investing in anyone, but as everyone knows, I've been struggling with the flu last week and I've under doctor's orders, so he's told me to wear a scarf for the rest of the week. So I'll be cheering home the Lions only because my dislike for Geelong and disdain. So sorry for my Geelong owners, which is a lot of
Hey, we're losing you a tiny bit. Where'd you get that scarf from, first and foremost? We'll have to come back to Andy. Bronte.
of them available.
Oh, hang on. We'll come back to you, Andy. You might have to maybe you can leave and come back. Bronte, I was surprised you knew who was in the grand final. That's not me being smart, but you're a passionate rugby person, not really an AFL supporter. So Lions, Cats, have you got a landing? Surely you go with the home state bias here.
No, I'd have to stay with Brisbane. I am not really phased either way, Tim. I think that's why we know that I'm working the coverage on Saturday night and I will be on track. If it was the NRL final, I would have also said the Broncos, but they still need to get through their semi-final this week too. But we don't want to chat about that apparently. So I'm going to be sticking with Brisbane again in the AFL. But good luck to everyone and have fun, Tim, on Saturday and Friday night. The whole weekend's going to be fun for all of you, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, and you're much more, I know you're very sick, Bronte, and you're much more tough than Andy. You didn't have to tell everybody and put a scarf on. So there'll be a few people battling there on Saturday night by the sounds.
Yeah, I think Andy was maybe the one that made me sick last week because I went to see Penny and Andy said, stay away, I'm sick, and it was too late. So next day I was under the weather.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Andy, we lost you there for a bit, but where did you pull this lion scarf from?
Yeah, no, I bought this half-time last year when I was at the grand final.
Yeah, of course. You left at halftime with the Swans, sadly. Hey, great to have your company here. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Let's get stuck right into it. APG's yearling sale dates for 2026 are locked in. Back in 5 states this year, coinciding with some of the biggest events in the harness racing calendar, with the Melbourne sale on Hunter Cup weekend and the Sydney sale on Miracle Mile weekend. The APG sales are the place to be in 2026. Head over to apgold.com.au for all the details. He was good on debut, was the Preacher. So is he a legitimate chance in the Tatlow feature? Race 4 on the program is the Aldebaran Park Tatlow Stakes for the 2-year-old trotters. And I'll go straight to Chris Alford here. He's the only one involved. He takes the drive on the Jane Davies train to the Preacher. 1 start, 1 win. Tricky barrier, though, Puppet, barrier 7. What do you think of your winning chances on Saturday night?
Yeah, 7's probably not ideal, but he doesn't have a great deal of gate speed yet. Seems pretty strong, so the 22.40 will really suit him. Nice field, no standouts in it. How they make is, hot and cold and can make a break. And Huey's horse was pretty good first up, but didn't really beat anything. So, I think with a nice trip and a bit of luck early, we'll sort of hopefully get in midfield somewhere. It'll be hard to beat.
Did you like what you saw and what you felt there first up, Puppet, with the Preacher?
Yeah, he just sort of got a bit lost against the older horses. They ran the gate pretty hard, and he got, sort of 6 or 8 lengths back, but his last 600 was really good.
Yeah, good stuff. Bronte, I'll come to you here. Look, I'm probably going to lean towards Howdy Mate. We know, he's a nice horse. He's coming off a Nutrien final win, but there is plenty of nice horses here, plenty of chances. Zulu for Michael Bellman. Huey Cathal's horse, as Puppet said, not another naughty. Plenty of winning hopes here. Did you have a preference to one of them?
Yeah, I'm leaning with Howdy Mate, but I do think that $2.50 that he is around now is probably right. I wouldn't want to go any shorter with him. He's an interesting horse. I think last start we probably saw the most maturity in him. Obviously, he had to overcome the bad barrier and he hit the line really well, and we know he's been gelded. So I think he's going to continue to mature and progress, and he's going to probably make a better older horse, I think, Howdy Mate, but I still think he probably finds a forward position first before the other better runners in this field, and because of that, I think if his manners can hold up early, he gets forward. But I mean, there's so many horses that we don't know their ceilings yet in this race. Zulu, the Preacher, Not Another Naughty. All of their runs have been fantastic, and you can't really fault them. And then obviously there's a horse like El Perfecto that's proven on this track. So I think there's quite a few winning chances. Yeah, I agree. Probably one we didn't mention was El Perfecto. Andy, as I come to you, this horse has probably been up as long as most of them. Has good gate speed. First up from a little break, but has trialled pretty well in the lead up to this. So there's probably 4 or 5 winning chances. Andy, if I gave you $100, how would you invest it?
Yeah, well, 2-year-old trot race, you don't want to be taking short odds anything, but I'd probably agree Howdy Mate's probably got the most ability, but he's still not the finished product yet. Preacher was good winning its first start. Admittedly, it was against maiden class, and it's a little bit hard to weigh up that form because we saw Hammer do it at Ballarat, then he sort of came out and couldn't win his next 2. So, but yeah, I'm still, he's a quality horse. I think in time he's going to be quite a nice horse, the Preacher. A couple of his trials have been good too. I like the way Zulu's found the line. It's 2 starts. I think it's hit the line really good, and I think it's, I think it's out to $10, which seems a pretty good price here. El Perfecto's a good trotter. So yeah, it's quite a good field, but 2-year-old trot race, I wouldn't be, running into short odds anything in this race. It's pretty open, but it'd be $100. I'd probably go 50 each way Zulu.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind that. It's been an impressive winner. It's only 2 starts at the race, isn't it? It's going to go around the double figures again. So, not a bad play there from Andy Gath. Race 4, number 4, Zulu each way. Let's move on to question number 2. Pride's Easy Feed stand as a proud supporter of the harness racing industry with their set recipes and quality ingredients to give the trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride's and start getting the result you've been chasing. Ringer's manners haven't been their best, but will he bounce back in this race 5 test? Ringer Wells has barrier 8 for Andy Gath and Kate Gath. Alison Alford's got 2 runners in this race. Horse 4, Lincoln Bio. Horse 5, Naked Truth. And the Puppet drives the 5, Naked Truth. Bronte, I'll start with you here as you have another sip of your Lemsip tea or whatever it is to keep you nice and healthy for Saturday night. I was on Ringer Wells Saturday night. I texted Andy. He cost me a nice multi and quaddies and everything. I was invested on him. I think he was going to win, but this is a different race with different barrier draw and plenty of nice horses going well. Do you think Ringer Wells can win, or are you landing towards another horse here?
Well, I just have to say, last start I was I'm sorry, Andy, but I was happy with that outcome because I had tipped Kai Valley Piero and backed it, so I was quite happy about that. But I think He's a Gun, second up, probably with Chris Lang's style driving, is probably going to be quite well suited in this race. And I think in 12 months' time, He's a Gun is going to be a really nice horse. And I'm interested to see what he does this preparation. And I'm just sticking with him. I'm not quite sure how he's going to look in the market just yet, but just looking at the field, I do quite like He's a Gun. And Chris and Alison's 2 horses, there's 2 Starkest trained siblings. They both have the same broodmare there. I think they're both very different horses, but I'm interested to see what Chris has to say about them because they can probably make a big difference to the map early because they can have a lot of early speed.
We'll go straight to you here, Chris. Craig Knott, if he's tuning in, he's got 2 runners in the same race here. Is this the first time these 2 have lined up against each other?
I think they did once before, probably 3 or 4 months ago, maybe.
Okay, well, who would Craig not be cheering for, do you think?
Well, I think Naked Truth is his favourite, so I'd say him.
Okay. And you're driving. Is that a pointer towards who you think the best chance is of the two?
No, probably not really. John's driven. Josh had a drive, so John's driven Lincoln Bio before, and Naked Truth can be a bit of a handful to drive, so that's why I stuck with him.
Okay. Can one of your two runners win, do you think?
I think it's pretty even field. I know Andy's horse was running on really well last week, but he's sort of 12 rating points behind horses like He's a Gun and all that, and Promised Dream. So he's like jumping up in class. Like last week's race was a nice enough field without being a strong one. So I think in 12 months he'll be right up there, but whether he's just ready yet, because he sort of made a break for no reason last week. So it's an interesting race. Even TikTok on its best day can run well.
Yeah, Andy, we'll come to you here. First and foremost, Ringer Wales was going to win, wasn't he, last Saturday night?
I'm pretty sure he was, and obviously the weight of you being on him is enough to make him gallop. So if you're not on him this week, I'm sure he'll trot throughout. But like Chris said, he's only 55 rater, taking on these horses that have, more season, and he still can get things wrong. The barrier draw, not sure, if it's good or bad, but we just sort of see. He still needs a little bit of luck, but this preparation, there's no doubt his performances have been better than last time. So he can definitely win. You wouldn't be taking short odds, but I'm pretty more, confident he'll try a bit better this time. I think he wears half hobbles and, might have just had him a touch loose last week. So we find if we can go up a couple of holes tighter, he does trot quite, a lot better. So, yeah, he's a winning hope, but he's, one of few that is a winning hope in it. So be interested to see what odds he is, but, he probably should be better than $5, I'd say, from that barrier draw.
Yeah. In my mind, Andy, the hardest horse to beat probably He's a Gun. Bronte's on top selection. I thought his first up run was really good, and he might get the front.
Yeah, I think his best is very good. He sort of showed that. So, if one run under his belt, he'd be fitter again. So, again, it's a pretty even field, and, it's going to be good value, most horses, I'd say.
Just quickly, one more on Ringer Wells last time out. I haven't seen the head on, but any chance he galloped because the room got a bit tight? He got a bit squeezed up or not?
Yeah, probably a combination of both. He was sort of, going through that gap pretty quick, and there was a false start too, which sort of set him off a little bit. He's quite a hot horse, and he races in the high dead hood. So, combination of a lot of things. Probably 9 out of 10 horses probably wouldn't have galloped in that situation, but he's the type of horse that would. So, with clear air on Saturday night, I think he'll trot a lot better.
Okay, good stuff. That's race 5, first leg of the main quaddy, the APG Trot. Logical Staffing Solutions provide labour hire and recruitment services to the transport, warehousing, automotive and manufacturing industries. The logical solution for your staffing needs. The Statesman goes like a rocket in front. So from gate 2, do we take the punt? Race 6 on the card. Horse 2, the Statesman, Alford trains. Chris Alford takes the drive. I'll start with you here, Bronte. I'm ultimately going to tip Sergeant Lou, but I think this race will be won and lost right at the start. I think if the Statesman can get across to the fence, he's going to be awfully hard to beat. But if Sergeant Lou holds up, he's probably the horse to beat. It's the welcome baby Oliver Pace. I've got a little fella called Oliver, but he hasn't just been born. He's 8 years of age. Which way are you leaning here, Bronte? It's a good race, but I think the key chances are drawn 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think if the barriers were reversed, I'd be sticking with the Statesman over Sergeant Lou. I'm sticking with Sergeant Lou over the barrier, but it's a little bit tricky because if the Sergeant Lou does have the gate speed to hold the front. It's just if he wants to hold the front when he could be taking a sit on a horse like the Statesman. But I think if there's a lot of speed on early, I'd be quite happy to maybe play Raging Whitebait there because he is going to improve significantly from his run last start, and he's going to be on speed on the fence there at Melton. I think it's a really ideal spot. We can't forget about Raging Whitebait if there is speed on, but it really depends. If Sergeant Lou has a cozy lead, I think he's going to be hard to beat. But then if the Statesman finds the front, I think he will probably win too. So like you said, Tim, I have to agree that it's the first 200 metres are going to probably play out the rest of the race, but I'll stick with Sergeant Lou.
Okay, I'll go to Andy first here. Adam Kelly trains Raging Whitebait. Andy, horse 8, trains from your property. I thought he trialled well leading into his first up run last weekend, but I thought it was under par first up.
Yeah, you want to like to see him hit the line a little bit better, I suppose. His last 50 metres wasn't great, but he's sort of that type of horse a little bit. I think he's a brutal fence horse, and it's an ideal draw for him. So he might be fenced behind the leader, or at worst 3 back to fence. And I think his last win, I think he was 5 fence when Geordie Leadham drove him, and he still got up. So he can sprint really quick. So this is an ideal scenario for him. Sergeant Lou's on the comeback trail. It was probably a pass mark first up, but it wasn't sensational. But Chris's horse, I think the Statesman's absolutely flying. Even last week he's run behind my Ultimate Barney. His times were off the clock, and he kept coming on the line. He was out wide, and I think if he finds the top, the Statesman, I think he'd be too good in my mind. But even if he doesn't lead, he's still winning hope. And the other horse, Kate Gently Drives, Plains in Heaven's going really good as well. And obviously not going to lose anything with Herbie on, so it's another winning hope as well. So tricky race, but if I had to pick, I'd be sticking with the puppet with the Statesman.
Okay, puppet. The Statesman, outstandingly tipped by Ryan Phelan a couple of starts ago, and then, as Andy said last weekend, I thought it was a great run. He had some of the best times off the track. He kept coming on the line. He's absolutely flying this horse, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going really well, although his figure form doesn't look terrific. But like Andy said, his times last week, I think he covered extra 26 or something meters and ran the same half as the winner off the track. So he's going well. I would have been happy to draw 1 and not 2, but as Andy said, Sergeant Lou was okay first up, so second up over the longer trip, hopefully he'll want to take a sit on me and try and run him down late, because he just likes to run when he's in front.
Do you think you could cross Sergeant Lou on your merits? Probably not, puppet, not drawn so close together.
I think he runs the gate really strong, and Sergeant Lou can get out pretty good as well, as we've seen. But are we having a good crack early, and if it doesn't pay off, it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, if he found the front and got it his own way, he'd be really hard to beat, wouldn't he?
He doesn't. I don't think he even needs to get it his own way, because he just can keep sort of rolling pretty strong sectionals. So if he got the front, we wouldn't be looking to go too slow.
Yeah, good stuff. That's race 6 on Saturday night. The Welcome Baby Oliver Pace over the 2240 metres. Let's move on to the 4th and final question. It revolves around race 8 on the card. Sahara has got the draw, so can she stretch the sequence to 4? Race 8, number 1, Sahara Breeze, the Quinlan's Train. Chris Alford takes the drive. I'll come to you here, Andy. You're not involved in the race, but you know these horses really well. We've got Sahara Breeze, Operative Line, Just a Little Sip, Louis Luai, He's From Heaven, Dangerous, and 888. So no back row here. I think Sahara Breeze can do it again. First up from a little tiny freshener.
Yeah, there's no doubt. She's a quality mare, and these barrier draws they've done on sex, she gets the advantage of it, and she sort of runs the gate a lot more easily these days. You don't sort of have to chase her out, and she can sort of hold her own, and Chris can probably pick and choose who he wants to hand up to, and I guess this will be the case again. She sat on Yambuckian and, beat him and dead heat it with him, and, really quick last sectional. So, she can really motor the last bit. So whoever she's following, no matter how quick they can run home, she seems to be able to get the job done. So I think she's definitely the one to beat. Who she's following, I know Louis Luai gets out pretty quick, but I'm sure Chris will probably want to hold him out, because he's generally a hand-up horse. So, if he's mapping behind He's From Heaven, he's a good horse too. But I just think the mare's just in the zone at the moment, and probably get the job done again.
Yeah, I think so as well. Bronte, will come to you here. Have you got an opinion on the speed map? I mean, Sahara Breeze gets out well, but Operative Line we know can get out barrier 2. Louis Luai, as Andy said, and I thought He's From Heaven last time out actually showed the most gate speed he has in a while. So there is some gate speed in this race.
Yeah, there is no horse in the front line that's a full length faster than Sahara Breeze. It's just how much pressure Chris wants to cop, because there's horses like Louis Luai who's just devastating if he wants to be, but I don't think he'll get a full length across Sahara Breeze. Operative Line, very much the same. I just get this front line really concerns me for the chances of Sahara Breeze, who I have on top, just because none of them are really the best leaders in this class. I mean, Operative Line's really good in front, but in a free-for-all, it's a little bit of different. Just a little sit, Louis Luai, those sort of horses, they're going to want to take a sit, and they're probably the first to contest. So there's going to be so much pressure on Sahara Breeze early. I know he's from Heaven. I think it probably had its chance to win as well last start, and then the start before that it did win when it led. So it might be the one looking for the front. I think the horse we're forgetting here is Dangerous. It's been going so well, and if there is so much speed on, I know that Sahara Breeze keeps getting it done, and being first up for her seems to thrive off that. She loves being on the fence, but I do probably mark Dangerous as the best threat in this race, especially if it can stay out of that early speed burn.
Yeah, look, we'll come to you here, Puppet. Bronte makes a good point. There's a lot of probably gate speed horses that like to hand up, Louis Louis, maybe Operative Line. So I guess that's got to be in the back of your mind, doesn't it? You don't want to be handing up to the wrong horse if you want to hand up at all.
Yeah, well, that's true. But, it looks like the sort of race after the first, they get to the winning post, there's not really a horse that can make a move and sit outside her. So, I think, if Gary's happy, I think she's never been beaten in front. So this would be the right race to hold the front because, Louis Louis, if it tried to cross, it'd hand up, and we don't want to end up 3 back the fence in a 7-horse field.
Yeah, so you got personally, Chris, obviously connections will help decide the tactics on Saturday night, but you personally have got no problem with her leading. Like, you think she's just as good in front?
Oh yeah, I think she's 3 for 3 and not being beaten in front. Not in this grade, but there's none of these horses are Yambuckian or the top 3 for all anyway.
Yeah. She's trialled since her last run. Yes, Bacchus Marsh.
Oh, she scorched around the marsh. Beat it with strong field.
Was that
strong field of 3?
Was that one of your 6 winners on the program?
Oh, we don't count trials.
You weren't able to get one that Saturday night. I think I said you might have used up all your luck at the trials.
Yeah.
And just one more, Puppet. I think last time we spoke about Sahara Breeze, you were considering leading that race. I think you handed up to Oliver Dan from memory. Was it a genuine possibility that you were going to try and lead all the way in that race last time out?
Yeah, it just got out a bit better than what I thought it would.
Yeah, good stuff. Confidence levels out of 100. Sahara Breeze, she can win, can't she? I think she can.
Oh, I think she can win. The problem is, with her grade, all the mares' races keep falling over. There's supposed to be one in 2 weeks for 50,000, and Gary was saying it even looks like probably not even getting enough mares. So it's a bit of a problem at the moment. That's why they had to take her to Menangle a couple of starts ago to just get a run into her. So I'm pretty sure she'll be fit enough and run a great race.
Good stuff. That's just race 8.
Just on that race, I generally find when there's no second row, you probably don't get the early burn because a lot of them, like Louis Louis and that, they probably don't want to be in the death, but they don't want to give up the fence either. So Operative Line, that just might go straight behind Sahara Breeze. And it's got good gate speed. And yeah, sometimes you think it's going to be really quick, but I generally find when there's no second row, some of those horses just dive to the fence because they don't want to, miss that opportunity.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. You're a bit smarter than you look, Andy, even with that silly lion scarf on. It's a good point because a lot of these horses, as Puppet said, that they're probably not seasoned in this grade. I wouldn't have thought Operative Line and Louis Louis just a little sip. Probably he's from Heaven, Dangerous, 888R. But the more I look at this race, the more keen I become on Sahara Breeze. But it won't be my best bet. Let's do Sharps Bakery's best bets. Thanks to the team there at Sharps Bakery. I was there on Monday, and I've, as of Wednesday night, I've just got through the big gift pack of donuts, bee stings, all the stuff that give me the vanilla slice. So thanks to the team there. Puppet, let's go straight to you. If it's not Sahara Breeze as your best bet, who is it?
Yeah, I'm going to go race 1, number 12, Golden Tribe. Thought his run at Ballarat was good, showed really good speed, and it looks like it's a fairly quick front line, so he'll be able to just come with one run, and I think he'll round him up.
No concerns about tipping against an Andy Gath trained horse first up from New Zealand. He's got a pretty good record with those.
It looks to be a bit of a non-winner. No wins in its last 5. I don't know the horse though.
No, good stuff. Race 1, number 12, Golden Tribe for Puppet. Tommy Rundle, Lockie Cook. Let's come to you here, Andy. $21 for Tim Bim Boo. That looks like a good each way bet in race 1.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be those odds. Golden Tribe's clearly the best horse in it, and he's terrific first up, and he's a horse that can qualify for the Vic Derby and, probably run a place with the right draw. So he's definitely one to beat. You want a big money horse, Tim Bamboo. Chris is probably right. He's got 4 wins in 10 seconds and 7 or 8 thirds. So he's always around the money. But, he trialled quite nice on Tuesday and come through that really good. Got pretty good gate speed. If he's able to find the top, he'd be hard to beat. But if he's off the fence, he'd be an each way chance. So going to be a nice competitive horse going forward. He's probably a similar type horse to your horse, Imperial Command, except he's a pacer. Good gate speed and going to be a good honest horse going forward and always competitive.
And he'll improve out of sight over the next 3 months.
Well, the fact that you didn't take a share, you probably win 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah, I know. He's got my name as well. Do they call him Timmy at the stables, do they?
Yeah, Timmy. Timmy will talk.
I'm not sure how I've said no to this. Anyway, good luck. Is it your best bet, Andy?
No, he's not my best bet. I'm putting the pressure back on Puppet, the Statesman. Get the job done, Puppet.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, okay, race. And $16. Yeah, we won't get that, will we?
Probably not.
No, I wouldn't have thought. Race 6.
It won't last.
Yeah. Race 6, number 2, the Statesman for Andy Gath. Bronte, Nieuwenburg. Before we get your tip for Saturday night, I'm sure you've done the sums. All you have to do is look at your sports bet account, because you did have a bet last night and you absolutely cleaned up. I think you tipped 3 winners at least, one at $9, one at $5, and one at $6. So well done to you. You're seeing him quite well at the moment.
Yeah, last night was, I don't want to say it was a fluke, but I thought all of the horses that I tipped were going to be favourite, and then they all just seemed to drift. I couldn't believe seeing some of the odds that happened last night. And I don't always back the horses that I tip. I mean, I'm not a big punter, but last night I thought I might put some bets on, and it worked out well for me.
The account's looking all right?
Yeah, my account's really ready to go for the Saturday night. So the best bets are quite important. And for my best bet here, Tim, I've got a feeling I know that yours is going to come out of race 2. That's my guess. Am I correct?
It could, but no. It could come out of that race. It was one of the considerations, but no.
Okay, because I am tossing up between 2 runners, and I was avoiding Dalagiri because I thought you were going to tip Dalagiri, Tim, in race 2.
You can definitely win.
Yeah, I definitely think he's been working towards it, but my heart was set with He's a Gun initially when I was looking at the fields when they first came out.
Okay, race 5, number 3 for you. I think that's a good bet. I reckon you might find the top. Do you have him finding the front?
Yeah, I think so.
Chris doesn't, probably. But, race 5, number 3 for Bronte. Bronte, I'm going to go race 3 here. Horse 9, Soap and Bubbles. Good Time Libby was able to lead a similar field from a similar barrier draw last time out, but I don't know if that's the case. I'm hoping Keza on No Sweets for You can make it difficult, and I reckon Soap and Bubbles was sensational, closing off really nicely there. Gets the same draw, and I reckon Mark Pitt will make a move maybe a little bit earlier and get it done. So race 3, number 9, Soap and Bubbles for me. Andy, obviously you're going to be at the track, but looking forward to grand final day, no doubt. And as Puppet said, the national anthem's probably the best part of it when you haven't got a team in it.
Yeah, I'm happy I got the year off this year. I've sat through 3 vloggings the last 3 times I've gone, so it'd be nice to enjoy the first half anyway. Then, unfortunately, got to get my horses ready for the trots.
Good stuff. Thanks for joining us, Puppet. Before you let you go, I see Snoop Dogg's playing the grand final. You wouldn't have him in the headphones cruising around the track there at Belinda, would you?
No, I couldn't tell you one of his songs, but I thought they could just leave him out and have the guy that plays for Brisbane. He looks pretty much like him. He could just do the thing and they'd save a lot of money.
I actually said that to someone last Saturday. Oh, my old man. Yeah, he does. Good stuff. Thanks for jumping on, Puppet. And Bronte, look, I feel sorry for you, but look, I might have a couple of beers on Saturday and just relax, and maybe tune into the first at Melton at around 5:59 p.m. Go well.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. Hopefully my voice does at last this weekend, but it's going to be a great night of racing regardless. And I'm happy to take this one for the team, Tim, because I know it's one of your favourite weekends of the year.
It is. You can have the NRL grand final, which I think is the next week. So we'll do a trade there. Thanks very much, guys. That's been Burning Questions on September 25. Join Bronte Nieuwenburg for all the coverage. 9 races at Melton on Saturday night.
Green light, they're away.
And they're all in their positions, ready to go. There's the light up.
In true Mildura stock.
The green light's on. It was a beautiful start of...
He's trying to